What would you do if you came home to find your children being bathed outside like stray animals? Stay tuned to Whisper Fable for a story that will grip your heart. A millionaire comes home without notice and freezes when he sees the maid doing this to his twins. Elias Thompson wasn't expected home. The 37-year-old black millionaire, always sharply dressed in dark slacks and a crisp white shirt, had returned from his overseas trip without informing anyone. Not his staff, not his personal guard, not even the maid he left in charge of his 2-year-old twin sons. Only his business manager knew who was with him during the trip. He didn't want a grand welcome. He didn't want noise. He just wanted a quiet moment with Ezra and Elijah, his entire world since his wife Celine died during childbirth. As he entered through the iron gate of his estate, he loosened his tie, exhaled slowly, and stepped across the courtyard when something caught his eye. He stopped cold. His twin boys were sitting in a large plastic basin in the middle of the tiled patio, completely undressed, soaked in water, giggling uncontrollably. Second hook. Can you imagine the shock of seeing your children in a scene like this? Keep listening to Whisper Fable to uncover the truth behind this moment. A hose was coiled nearby, water still dripping from its end. Beside them, crouched on the ground in a damp beige uniform, was Ingrid, their live-in maid, a white woman in her late 40s, her blonde hair tied in a bun, sleeves rolled up. She was smiling, playful, and holding the hose. Elias's expression darkened. She was bathing his sons outside. He watched her aim the hose gently over Elijah's head as the boy squealed in laughter, clapping his small hands. Then Ezra splashed water on his brother, causing a wave of squeals from both. Ingrid laughed softly, like it was just another sunny afternoon, but to Elias, it felt all wrong. He stepped forward slowly, leather shoes echoing sharply on the wet tiles. "Ingrid," he said. She flinched at his voice and immediately stood up, hose dropping from her hand with a soft thud. "Mr. Thompson, I didn't know," Elias interrupted, his voice tight. "What are you doing?" She stammered, glancing between the boys and him. They were playing in the garden, got covered in mud. The water was off in the upstairs bathroom, just for a moment, so I thought, you thought dragging them outside and hosing them like animals was the solution? No, not like that. They love the water. I didn't mean, you're bathing my sons like dogs on patio tile. Elias's voice rose. Elijah flinched slightly. Ezra blinked and looked at his brother. Ingrid's eyes welled. "I would never hurt them, sir. Never." They were laughing. "Hey!" Elias held up a hand. "Save it." His gaze swept down to the twins. They were still smiling, but quieter now, watching, listening. "Do you think this is how my wife would want them treated?" he asked. Ingrid took a breath. "Celine asked me to care for them like a mother would, raise them with love, not rules. To let them play, to let them be free. She said if something happened to her, you'd try to raise them behind glass." Elias's lips parted, but no words came. She didn't want them cold, Mr. Thompson. She didn't want them formal. She wanted them to laugh, to get muddy, to know they were safe. He was silent. Ingrid's voice softened. "They giggle when I fill the tub. They ask for water time. I never forced it. I never meant harm. But they're boys, and they miss their mother." Elias turned toward his sons. Ezra was holding Elijah's hand. "Daddy," Elijah said softly, "are we happy?" The words struck deep. The image before him shifted, no longer filtered through the lens of wealth and pride. He saw 2 boys, splashing and alive, and a maid trying desperately to keep a promise to a woman no longer living. But still, Elias's fists clenched, his pride burned. "This isn't how things are done," he muttered. "I know," Ingrid said quietly. "But it's how they needed it today." Just then, footsteps echoed behind them. A young male employee rushed toward Elias, looking at the twins and Nanny. "Sir," Mr. Gregory called. "There's an emergency about the current situation. They need you now." Elias turned his head slowly, tension knotted in his shoulders. His gaze shifted between the man and his sons. Ezra giggled again, splashing Elijah. Ingrid didn't speak. She just watched. Elias took a breath, looked one last time at the tub, and turned away. His shadow disappeared past the pillars toward the house, and the laughter behind him slowly faded into silence. Elias's polished shoes echoed against the marble floor as he stormed back inside, the weight of what he just witnessed pressing against his ribs. His jaw clenched, throat tight, fists still curled from holding back too much for too long. He wanted to scream, or break something, or fire everyone, but instead, he walked into silence. The mansion loomed around him, expensive, vast, cold, every inch curated, spotless, lifeless. Then, from the hallway, came hurried steps. Mr. Thompson. It was Gregory, the estate manager, a white man in his 50s, balding, glasses slightly fogged from rushing. "Sir, I was told by your personal manager that you arrived. Welcome back. But there's a matter I think you should know about." "I already know," Elias cut him off sharply. Gregory blinked. "Sir, I saw her, bathing my children outside like stray animals," Elias snapped. Gregory froze. I see." "You see?" Elias stepped closer. "And you knew this was happening?" Gregory hesitated. "Sir, I didn't think you'd approve, but the boys love it. She only does it when the weather's warm. I was going to speak to her, but, don't lie to me." "I swear, I thought you knew. Ingrid told us she had your late wife's blessing to raise them with freedom." Elias turned away. He didn't want to hear Celine's name again. Not now. Not while the image of his sons laughing in a plastic tub under a garden hose still rattled in his head. He climbed the stairs without another word, entered his bedroom, and shut the door. For a long time, he stood by the window, staring at nothing. His reflection in the glass looked like someone else. All his money, all his power, and still, he was a man running from a memory he couldn't bury. Celine. Her voice haunted every corner of the house. Her soft humming in the kitchen. The way she'd roll her eyes when he'd come home late. The way she placed his hands on her stomach months before the twins were born and whispered, "Promise me you'll let them live, Elias. Not just survive, live." He had promised. And yet, here he was, angry at laughter, angry at happiness, angry because he wasn't the one who gave it to them. Suddenly, a knock. He turned. "Come in," he muttered. It was Ingrid, still in her soaked uniform, still shaking slightly. "I'll leave," she said gently, "if that's what you want." Elias didn't respond. "They deserve joy," she whispered. "I wasn't trying to shame you or disrespect the house. I just wanted to keep them happy. That's all I've ever wanted." He looked at her, really looked, and saw not a maid, but a woman worn down by grief and duty, who had stepped in where their mother had left off, who bathed them, fed them, sang to them, who stayed even when she could have left long ago. "Did Celine really ask you to do this?" he asked quietly. Ingrid nodded, pulling a folded, yellowed paper from her apron pocket. She handed it to him. It was Celine's handwriting. If I don't survive, please raise them as if joy were their birthright. Let them splash. Let them sing. Let them grow with dirt under their nails. Elias will try to shelter them. Don't let him. Don't let their lives be a museum. His hands trembled. Tears welled furiously at the corners of his eyes, but he blinked them back. I'm sorry, he whispered. You're not a bad father, Ingrid said gently. You're just scared. So am I. There was a long silence. Then Elias folded the letter carefully. Stay, he said. Ingrid exhaled, her shoulders finally relaxing. Thank you. That night, Elias walked into the boys' room. They were curled up in matching pajamas, still slightly damp from the afternoon's laughter. He knelt beside their beds, kissed their foreheads, and whispered, I'm home, and I'm staying this time. Ezra stirred in his sleep. Elijah rolled over and smiled. Outside, the hose still dripped, but inside, something had finally healed. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales from Whisper Fable. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching Whisper Fable.